Good Wednesday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with my allergies in play on this Wednesday, the 8th of April 2015. And why not change the banner as we get our spring bird and our definitely are on its perch here with the blossoms just about ready to burst. And there goes the pollen as well. And speaking of which, pollen will be on the low side or moderate side today, Friday, and then it's really going to just burst on Saturday and Sunday with breezy conditions and northwesterly winds on the weekend, but dry weekend. But the pollen not so good, all coming out at one time. Maple and juniper, and you can definitely hear it in my voice this morning. It's a seasonal start to the temperature forecast this morning, but it's cloudy. There's raw conditions outside. Don't forget the marine layers in place. We have northeasterly winds and that is producing lots of low clouds around the region and northeasterly wind, and it makes the atmosphere feel very sticky and cold and damp and clammy outside. It's cloudy with temperatures generally running in the low to mid 40s across most regions except a few upper 30s in the Hudson River Valley area this morning. There's a little bit of light rain around Atlantic City, a little bit of fog out here as we get into northeastern Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania as well. Other than that, just cloudy, raw, clammy morning. Air, land, and sea advisories. We have gale warnings in effect until 11 p.m. this evening for northeast winds at 25 to 30 knots, gust up to 35 knots, sea 7 to 10 feet. And this is for the coastal waters from Sandy Hook out to Fire Island Inlet and then extending further to the north and east. For the New Jersey coastal waters, we have a gale warning in effect until 6 this evening for northeast winds at 15 to 25 knots, gust up to 35 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet this morning, building up to 6 to 9 feet and choppy during this afternoon. Morning surface chart from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software shows high pressure building in across southeastern Canada, wedging down the east slopes of the Appalachians here. Here's our backdoor cold front yesterday, now stalled out over the southern portions of the northern mid-Atlantic region with a wavering, nearly stationary boundary to the west with disturbances along this flow. And we can see some of the rain across the Delmarva this morning, a little bit of rain across western New York and Pennsylvania. All of this will be scooting in our direction, in and out of the region throughout today. So today, not really a good day. Morning pass of the visible satellite imagery this morning shows lots of low and mid-level clouds around the region. There were some breaks in between, some lifting here in the clouds, more lifting here out here towards the Great Lakes and the Ohio River Valley as these disturbances move along the stationary front that is in place across the region. And we can see this on the eastern mosaic here. And if we step in closer, we can see some showers racing to the north and east across the frontal boundary. A closer inspection of this across the northern mid-Atlantic region just to our west, and we'll be in and out of this during this afternoon and tonight. For the aviation weather deck today, we have a cool northeasterly flow off the Atlantic, resulting in an extended period of low clouds, periods of light rain, drizzle, and mist today and tonight. The majority of this will be with IFR ceilings and MVFR visibilities. There will appear to be an opportunity for at least a few hours of improvement, but not too much, and that would be just around north of Philadelphia during this afternoon, and probably just a little bit too optimistic on that too. Northeasterly winds at 5 to 15 knots with gusts up to 25 knots today. The winds gradually diminish during the day and tonight. Thursday and Thursday night, MVFR conditions, IFR conditions possible, especially at night. Friday night and Friday, basically ceilings and visibilities in the morning improve to VFR and then shift from the northeast wind to a southwest wind with a warm frontal passage sometime on Friday afternoon. Showers likely, thunderstorms possible Friday afternoon and evening, especially around the cold frontal passage time. Wind shift from the northwest behind the front. Winds could be gusty. Saturday and Sunday, gusty northwesterly winds, but VFR conditions. Right now, outside of Newark, we're in MVFR. We have 43 degrees, dew point 36, humidity 76%. The wind is out of the northeast at 14, gust to 23. And well, it doesn't look pretty out there, and we're going to expect MVFR to IFR conditions for most of today. Right now in Philadelphia, we are socked in with IFR conditions. We have 44 degrees, dew point 40, humidity 85%. The wind is northeast at 12, gust to 21, and basically raw conditions out there with these conditions continuing on and off throughout today and tonight. We'll start out on the short term today through Friday afternoon using the NAM 4-kilometer model. And here is our in and out showers, low clouds and fog, drizzle, periods of rain around the region. by the time we get to Friday, this is where we expect the warm front to clear the area, and it's going to be a sharp contrast in temperatures between temperatures in the 50s over northern New Jersey and temperatures in the mid 70s around Philadelphia and south. And then we get a convective line out ahead of a cold front with deep low pressure moving into southeastern Canada. This could, uh, in the warm sector of the front here, could pop some very strong isolated storms, and these could be thunderstorms by Friday afternoon and evening across, especially south around Philadelphia and the Delmarva region. As far as the temperatures go, the NAM 4 kilometer forecast says that we're really going to be in a raw marine layer air mass for the next couple of days until Friday. This gets interesting on Friday afternoon because we're going to still find the warm front probably to the south of the region with a northeasterly flow, cool air with temperatures holding in the 50s across the north and temperatures spiking to around 70 or even in the low 70s around the I-95 corridor. This area in here will have to be watched for some enhancement to the rainfall, which could be convective in the form of thunderstorms. And the Storm Prediction Center has placed central and southern New Jersey, the I-95 corridor, the Delmarva into Baltimore, Maryland, and the rest of the northern and central mid-Atlantic region into a slight risk, about a 15% risk for severe storms, which could contain hail and damaging winds with unidirectional shear across the region on Friday afternoon and Friday evening. GFS forecast into motion, obviously the cold air damming signature with the marine air layer in place. Finally, that lifts north as a warm front as we get into Friday morning with some scattered showers around the region. And this cold front now out to the west here will be moving towards the region on Friday afternoon and evening. How much warm sector and where the warm sector lies, there could be the potential once again for those showers and thunderstorms to pop as the cold front moves through. The good news is the weekend will be dry but breezy and probably bump up temperatures with a northwesterly downsloping flow, so dry conditions on Saturday afternoon and evening, maybe a few scattered clouds as an upper level disturbance and trough access moves across the region on Saturday afternoon. But the rest of the weekend looks good. And we start out Monday on the dry note, and then another frontal boundary and trough will be approaching the region with the chance for precipitation reintroduced into the region once again on Monday night and Tuesday. And we'll discuss that in just a moment. We're going to leave the extended off for another period of time. For everything live, it's Garden State Weather, gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Have a great Wednesday. We'll be back in video form on Thursday morning.